In late November 1812, the Grand Army broke contact with the pursuing Russian forces after the Battle of Berezina. Napoleon departed for France to stabilize the political situation and raise new forces. The headstrong Murat, Prince of Naples, is left in charge. The northern arm of the Grand Army under General Marshal MacDonald was retreating through Lithuania. It included a Prussian corps under General Lieutenant Ludwig Yorck. The troops of MacDonald and Yorck became separated. Yorck's duty as a soldier required him to break through and to rejoin the French, but his ardor as a Prussian patriot made it difficult to continue to serve Napoleon. If Yorck failed to join MacDonald, it would constitute a breach of his king's word to support Napoleon and would probably spark an uprising in Prussia for which the Prussians had not prepared. Prussian nationalism was heating to a boiling point, but the king lacked sufficient resolve to issue a formal termination of the agreement that Prussia support France's invasion of Russia. Yorck, perhaps in consultation with the Russian General von Clausewitz, who had defected to Russia before 1812 invasion, decided to abandon his loyalty to the French. Yorck and von Clausewitz negotiated the Convention of Tauroggen, an armistice, on 30th December 1812, which, quote, neutralized, end quote, the Prussian corps. The king suspended Yorck's command pending court-martial. Citizens of Prussia were jubilant and started to mobilize. It is here we depart from history. In a fit of pique, Prince Murat, who is bolder and brighter, orders Marshal MacDonald to gather his forces and the neighboring 7th Corps of Saxons to attack the Prussians, destroy them, and demonstrate to the Prussians their fate if they do not keep faith with Napoleon. The Russians come up to support Yorck. Welcome to another Sacred Mountain Battle Report. French deployment. Saxon deployment. Prussian deployment. Russian deployment. First turn of the game, Saxon and French lose the skirmish phase. The opening bombardment by the Prussian into the French guns still limbered in entering the battlefield. Prussian and Russian guns unload on cavalry out in the open. Now it's the Saxons and the French's turn. Saxon guns are ineffectual, rolling only 3 dice per bombardment. 3rd Brigade tries to scoot around a forest. Saxon light cavalry leading the heavy cavalry into town. Here comes some French counter battery fire. Not great rolls. skirmish phase wasn't much better with 4, 4, and multiple more skirmish dice awarded to the Russians and Prussians, winning second term skirmish. Here again, the Prussian artillery unload into the French. You'll note, though, that I was able to use the energetic intervention and force his infantry to come up and block and protect his artillery. Time for some French revenge. Counter battery fire. Byron marking a bounce through from a 6 that was rolled earlier. A target-rich environment for the French guns. Multiple bounces. 3 hits to the infantry. Now bounce into the cannon and bounce into the cavalry. 4 rolls, no hits. Some more long-range shots into the Russians. 1 hit. Rolling for disruptions. Looks like 3 hits. Rolling for disruptions was not great. And this is why I took energetic. Shock cavalry versus any formation of infantry that wasn't square, they get a -4. True to their reputations, the Saxon Lights run down the Prussian infantry. The huzzah token indicates that they can move again. Here's the Prussian line forming up on my vulnerable Saxon cavalry. But first, I get to attack an artillery piece to see if he can get away. He rolls 1 dice, I roll 2, and he outscored me. He gets away. Now this is gonna hurt. All these infantry firing at my light cavalry that have already received some disruptions from charging. But wait, that's not all. Here it comes. Nine hits. He'll need 5s to disrupt. Rolling for disruptions there, received 1. Only 2 disruptions on the other unit. have no idea what I'm saying here. I think I'm trying to explain why I lost a gun, but it was to superior gunnery and superior generalship. Here I'm going to try to get some revenge charges. The French are doing their damnedest to protect my left flank, but are collapsing. They're taking refuge behind that fortified bridge, hoping they won't be seen. Meanwhile, the French are advancing on those Prussian guns. What suicidal maniacs. This is the Jura River, and it's December in Lithuania. This son of a bitch is frozen, so they can cross right over. Here I'm pantomiming what a brilliant general I am, because I've used energetic. Fresh infantry with a strength of 6, +1 for outnumbering, then my rolls of 2 and 5 versus his roll of 2. Advancing French near the swamp. Here's some Austrians caught out in the open in their back. That's a -1. No, -4. Saxon volley fire and Prussian cavalry squaring me up. A brutal French rear charge on the Prussian. Despite the French 2nd Brigade's valiant charge, I don't think that they'll be able to weather this storm. Those 2 batteries on the right are too close to that French squad to bombard into the approaching French. We're trying to explain it to Byron. Anticipated but unrecorded major damage to the French front. At least 4 more disruptions to those French Fusiliers. Saxons interpenetrating, then unloading a volley on a squared Prussian brigade. God, these Russian guns are horrific. They roll 5 dice per battery. Saxons roll 3. And I think that's 5 disruptions out of 11 hits. Scoop, 10 hits. Next victim. And another scoop. Those Russian guns are waylaying us. French counter battery from behind the wall. 7 hits. And 2 bounces. Throwing more lead downrange. Disruptions. 2. That'll do. Two more disruptions on the infantry behind. But now the Russians are pushing across the fortified bridge. Here we have a debate on shooting from terrain and shooting into terrain. The massed Russian infantry are actually under the bridge on the frozen river, but these are on top of the bridge, but within 1 base width of the wall. Therefore, rules as written say they can see over and into the French mass. The Prussians redeploying their artillery. More counter battery or return fire. The French nearly spent unit going after the Austrians, and the Saxons nearly spent cavalry going after the guns. It's 1 in the morning. Those are Prussians on the streets. Square is not so great shooting, but they pull it off. Let's see if they can disrupt. No. I mean, maybe. No. Snake eyes. Oh shit, here come the Prussian guns into some juicy, fresh Saxons. Six hits in the front, 2 in the back via bounce through. But wait, there's more. Eight hits. More bounces. Two more hits. Shifted up because they're in square. My shaken, limbered guns getting picked on by fresh Russian artillery. 2 hits. No disruption. Oh, no. 3 hits, and they were disrupted and routed. Rolling for disruptions. Saxon infantry at this time get disrupted on 4 more. So that goes through. Now the next one. Oh boy, this is gonna hurt. 4. Oh, not so bad. 4 disruptions. And then the bounces. Oof, 3 more. Look at this beautiful artillery shot with all those bounces. The collapsing bag of the French artillery line, now protecting my left flank from the Russians. Multiple huzzahs awarded here. The Prussians are bugging out. They've got to get off the board with something. I have 1 momentum left and I intend to use it, but it didn't work. Damn Russian guns shooting at my cavalry. Scooped. Last fight of the game. Some Russians attacking a square of French. Tied. The Russians bounce and receive a disruption. Last play of the game.
I need 2 to do it. I only have 1.
I do get last goal of the game.
Oh, we got a general here.
So what is it, 1 or 6?
It's a 1.
Okay.
And it's not.
There's 3 1s in there.
There is.
Dice triply.
So at the end of the game, we've got cavalry, Saxons retain their camp. Prussians are in full retreat. They have only 2 units left on the board, but the others have retreated. And then a fairly strong Russian presence on the other side of the Vistula, maybe? Is that the Vistula River?
Yeah.
No, it's a battalion. Oh, no. First they'll fight the initial part of the 6th Coalition, and the Austrians are not there. The Saxons will be loyal, and then they'll take up a truce, and the Saxons will defect during the next big battle at Leipzig. So I think in terms of dead units, I think you killed more than we killed.
So you killed 3 Saxons, lots of French.
4 French, 5, 6, 7 French you killed.
I have 9 units down. 8 infantry and 1 battery.
So we have 9 together. Did you lose anything?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
I lost a battery, and I lost a battalion. I lost 2 units, and you lost 7. So I'm up by 5, and you lost 3,
I lost 3, yeah.
and he lost 9.
Yeah.
So you're up by 6. So overall, you guys are up by 1.
So
You won.
minor victory, minor defeat?
Well, given that the object was to punish the Prussians for defecting, which you did a good job of. There's a lot of black wreaths in Prussia these days, but I don't think it'll help you because I think that they're going to rise. They're just tickled to death that the Prussians fought the French.
I think it would be a major defeat for the French because they just got pummeled by the Russian guns.
They gave themselves up to give you the latitude.
That's true. That's right. Yeah, for sure. for sure.
That's the way the emperor will write the book.
He saved the Saxons.
Well, it was
Savior of the Saxons.
It was an odd table. It's like Byron and I too often have been on a table where we're kind of bent, and you guys kind of get at us from a couple of angles, and the guns here shoot down that way, and the guns there shoot down that way. And
Well, that's by our superior generalship.
And also by the way Sam Mustafa sets up, where the armies enter. But nonetheless,
This was easily
we
my next
spent
game
a
of
lot of
Lasalle.
time suffering.
I finally was able to use that energetic intervention to good effect, being able to sneak into an opponent's zone of control with a cavalry and then make that charge when they weren't expecting it is exactly why you need to leave your general out there, so you can square up and keep me off your back, because any cavalry attacking infantry that aren't in square, those infantry have a -4. It was a great game. These guys are so fantastic to play against. It's been the best gaming experience of my life. They're so laid back, and their previous reenactors and Joe is quite the historian and is quite a store of knowledge with regards to Napoleonic and military history, and he's always coming up with these fantastic scenarios. Also, I want to say I have a new respect for YouTubers. Holy crap, this took all night long to edit this in the amateur fashion that I did. I feel completely delirious. So if you made it to the end, thanks for watching, and thanks for tuning in to another Sacred Mountain.